Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or Carl Hungus712. Today I'm bringing you some pretty sweet gameplay here. I end up throwing the 48 Dredge on because I'm going for Dark Matter, so of course I have to get headshots for the LMGs, and LMGs in this game are really good if you guys have never used them. I definitely recommend it. The 48 Dredge might be the best gun in the game, as you're going to see from this gameplay here. I usually don't use LMGs just because your mobility's so limited by them. Basically, when you're using an LMG, the proper way to use it, pre-aim every corner you can and get on a head glitch. That's basically what they're designed for. They're big, heavy, clunky weapons, but they're powerful. They got a lot of ammo. But I think you guys are going to like the gameplay. I end up getting double Motherships in this game. I almost dropped 100. For some reason, though, Junior and I think we have like 130 kills between us, and we still lose the game, which I don't understand quite how, but I think our teammates were struggling a bit, so it's no biggie. But yeah, like I said, I think you guys are going to like the gameplay, and this is a godly weapon here if you guys have never used the 48 Dredge, so definitely try it out. Like I said, you'll see me playing a little bit more conservatively than I normally play, but like I said, it's an LMG, so you have to. It's just you don't have the mobility with the weapon. But on today's docket, I figured I'd talk to you guys about the balancing in Black Ops 3. You know, is this one of the better balanced Call of Duties that we've played in recent times or of all time? And what do you guys think about it? But anyways, to start off with, I think Black Ops 3 they actually did a very good job with weapon balancing. The assault rifles are pretty well balanced. You know, when the game first came out, the XR2 and the M8, those were the your top tier weapons, and they've buffed them pretty good now. The M8, you can't spam it quite as quick, and the XR2 you really could never spam that much, but I think the damage profile was a bit higher on the XR2. I can't remember for sure. I'll have to look at the stat charts, but I just remember those two weapons were kind of the top tier guns when it came to assault rifles when the game first came out. But they've definitely nerfed them down quite a bit. They're not quite as strong as they used to be, but they're still probably the two best assault rifles in the game if you're going to use them. The XR2's up, or sorry, not the XR2. The Shiva's up there too. Another great weapon. The Man of War is really good too, but the Man of War is almost like the Scar. It's almost like a AR LMG hybrid. It has a lot of kicks, so if you're looking for long range shots, obviously that's not going to be your best choice. But again, you're taking away some precision for power, so that's where the balancing kind of comes in with that gun. Of course, you got the Havoc and the ICR, which are your two laser beam type weapons that have good rates of fire, don't do a ton of damage, but they're really controllable. So, like I said, the ARs they did a great job balancing on. I think the submachine guns they did a good job too. Until the last couple of, or was it the last nerf, or was it two nerfs ago? I think it was the last one. They finally ended up nerfing the Vesper, which was just an incredible weapon. I know a lot of people didn't care for the Vesper just because it had such a high rate of fire, and not only did it have an extremely high rate of fire, it had a lot of kick to it, but of course you're going to get that with a high rate of fire weapon. I remember going back to Black Ops 2 with the Scorpion. That was the thing you dealt with the Scorpion. You know, if you get a high rate of fire, they've got to balance it somehow, and of course they balance it by the gun kicks hard. So like I said, most of the subs are pretty well balanced. The Kuda and the VMP I'd say are the two best. The Vesper, kind of like in Black Ops 2, would be like the Scorpion. It's kind of a situational gun, although the Scorpion I think was a little better. The Scorpion, I remember I could shoot people mid-range or even a little past mid-range. I was able to control the recoil really well on that gun, but I think they did a pretty good job there. The sniper rifles are well balanced. With they took away the auto aim in the game, which honestly, with you guys, I don't think they should have taken the auto aim off the sniper rifles. I think there should still be auto aim. Now I know sometimes you run into people who quick scope quite a bit, but I really think they should have kept the auto aim on the sniper rifles. But other than that, the weapons are pretty well balanced. The pistols sometimes can be annoying if you throw high caliber on them and you get a headshot. They'll kind of irritate you every once in a while. But even those are well balanced. The LCAR 9, of course, that was like a pocket Vesper at one point. I remember playing a lot of game battles online, and people would just run around with the fucking Vesper, and then they'd have an M8 in their back pocket too. So it was like, you know, you had the best of both worlds there. You had a god tier gun up close, and you had a god tier gun across the map. So, you know, that kind of got annoying a little bit. But eventually they fixed those weapons, and you know, for the most part too, like when it comes to the specialists, I think the specialists actually in this game are well balanced. I do think there are a few that could probably use some tweaking. I think the fire break is too strong. The flamethrower, I can't tell you how many times I've been killed by that, where somebody just panics and calls it in and just basically spins around in a circle, just shooting everybody with it, and it kills them. And basically, if you guys haven't played the game or if you've never played with the character before, with the fire break, if you just touch the guy for like an eighth of a second, it basically kills him instantly. And, you know, I don't think it should be quite that easy. You know, you basically light my shoelaces on fire and I'm dead. You know, I think that's a little ridiculous, but I think that one can be kind of annoying at times. Gravity spikes sometimes can, but, you know, like I said, you only get one, and then you got to wait a while for them. You know, sometimes the Ripper, but, you know, that's always going to be the case in Call of Duty. It always seems like there's always glitches when you're running around with a knife or doing shit like that, but... You know, so that's to be expected in the game. But other than that, I think the specialists are actually quite balanced too. I think combat focus is probably my favorite. I actually like not so much the lethal, but more the support specialists like the overdrive and combat focus and things like that. And give me a break on the mothership here. I'm kind of shooting like shit here to start the match off with, but I end up fixing it. It took me a little while to get used to it because when the mothership, when you can hit L2 to move it to different parts of the map, and when you do that, it's really hard to control your turret. So I ended up getting like 5 motherships. I finally decided to put it on. I've been getting a mothership like every game, so it's a fun kill streak. I definitely recommend running it if you guys are going to play a match where you're going to be playing a while. It's going to be a little more difficult to get a mothership on TDM. You definitely can, but you almost need to play more of an objective-based game to get that, so... Guys are interested in running that. It's a great kill streak. It's not the Swarm by any means, but it's pretty good, especially on a small little cracker box like Nuketown. But anyways, getting back to the balancing factor, I think the score streaks are pretty well balanced. I will say I think some of the score streaks are a little underpowered. I think some of the higher end ones are. The GI unit I've called in 2 or 3 times and only gotten a couple of kills with. It doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. So if you run cold-blooded, you're immune to it, the GI unit. I think the sentry gun's a very strong kill streak. Unfortunately, again, if you're running cold-blooded, you're not going to kill anybody with it. Of course, the Guardian's more for, games like Domination and things like that. So don't see too many Guardians anymore. The UAVs get shot down instantly. There's no point in running a UAV. To be honest with you, I think the Wraith is a little... I'm not going to say it's underpowered. I think the Wraith does quite well. But it just seems like, I guess, with me, whenever I call a Wraith in, every single player on the other team has a rocket launcher and it gets shot down immediately, which is kind of annoying when you work that hard to get those high-end kill streaks and you get 2 kills with them. So I'd recommend running the Hellstorm and some of the lower-end kill streaks. The Lightning Strike's better. It's not Black Ops 2 Lightning Strike, but it's better. I'd say the kill streaks are probably the knock on the game. Is this the most balanced game in the Call of Duty series? I'd say no. I still think Black Ops 2 is the most balanced game. I think one of the big issues in this game is with the lack of toughness in here. Gunfights sometimes are a little wonky. You know, you'll get into a gunfight and you'll shoot a guy first, but he's got high caliber on, so his gun kicks up and he gets the headshot and drops you instantly. Sometimes you'll get into a gunfight and, you know, it seems like the person that aims for the feet get the kill. You know, I don't care what you say. You should get rewarded for going for the head and the chest. You shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't be, well, Bo, you're shooting at the head, but this guy hit you with 1 bullet, so now you're shooting 15 feet over his head, you know, so that gets kind of annoying at times. But like I said, I think the balancing in this game, I think this would be a top 3 balancing Call of Duty. Like I said, I still think Black Ops 2 did the best job with the weapons and the score streaks. I think everything was extremely well balanced in that game. You know, and compared to the recent Call of Duties, I mean, Advanced Warfare, you had the Bell, you had the ASM-1. The H-Bar and the IMR were definitely useful weapons. You didn't see them too much in the competitive scene, but other than that, I mean, pretty much you only saw 2 guns in that game. Like I said, the Bell and the ASM-1 were about the only two you saw. Ghost was terribly balanced. Public match-wise, it was okay. Again, though, from the competitive scene, you saw basically when the game first came out, it was the MTAR and the Remington. You know, you had your AR, you had your sub, and then at the very end of the game, it was basically the Vector. The Vector was a submachine gun that you could cross-map people with. So, you know, the weapon balancing was kind of poor in Ghost. Like I said, Black Ops 2, it was good. MW3 had a couple of guns that you mainly saw. Like I said, I wasn't around when the game was at its peak, but when you go back and play it now, it seems like you've got the MP7, you've got the ACR, and the the PP90 Bison. It was basically those three guns there, and other than that, you don't see too much. I think the Type 95 was the OP gun in that game, but it ended up getting banned pretty quick. So, you know, other than that, and of course MW2, I think you had the ICR and the UMP. Then of course the Black Ops 1, you had the FAMAS, and COD 4, you had the M16. So, I think of the recent games, or of all the Call of Duties, I'd say Black Ops 3 might be second in balancing to Black Ops 2. But I want to hear what you guys think. Are you guys impressed with the game so far? Do you think it's pretty well balanced? Like I said, I do like Black Ops 3 a lot. I know you guys hear me complain sometimes live streaming, but just little things that irritate me. This isn't going to be a game that I'm going to be able to play for 3 years, but it is pretty fun, pretty well balanced. But I want to know what you guys think. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you next video, and Bo out.